deeply grateful for this and very honored. I want to thank Pat and your committee and all of you who have ever shared one of my books with a young reader, because you're all part of how I ended up here. Really, it is a pleasure to be with you. Let me get out of this. Now, I don't wear this to dress up. I just wear it because I've learned if I start my speech by taking off my clothes, people pay more attention to me. You know, I was speaking at the Shakespeare Society of America once, and I did that. And then afterwards, scholars are different, because afterwards, one of the Shakespeare scholars came up to me, one of the PhDs, and said, in all seriousness, I was fascinated by the ritual disrobing you performed in order to implicate us in your process. To which I said, the only thing I could think of, damn, you're on to me. So it truly, excuse me, is a pleasure to be with you. Years ago, when I was trying to write and desperate to break into publishing, Kathy and I lived on a farmstead in upstate New York. I was not, shall we say, surrounded by people who understood why children's books mattered so much to me. I mean, writing was nice enough, was the message I got, but it was fairly disgraceful to waste time on it if you had not yet mowed the lawn or hoed the corn. So to be with people who share this passion for children's literature is a genuine joy to me. To be honored by you this way is even more of a joy. I love being with a group gathered to celebrate our crazy belief that children are worth our best efforts. And really, we must appear crazy in the eyes of society to believe this when we see kids, schools, libraries, teachers being told in dozens of ways that despite the endless lip service we offer them, children are our most important resource, we don't, well, exactly mean it. If you watch school and library budgets being slashed from coast to coast, it takes a delusional person to think this society really considers children our most important resource. When the economy hits the wall, schools and libraries are the first place to get cut, and the last place to recover. We get the message loud and clear about what our culture believes. I spoke in Sacramento last year. While I was there, I learned that all the elementary school librarians, or media center technicians, as they were so charmingly called, in the San Juan Unified School District were to be replaced this year by clerk typists. A month later in Los Angeles, lawyers were taking school librarians into a basement room in a municipal building and interrogating them under oath to determine how many they could get rid of because they didn't have enough classroom experience. Not whether they were good librarians. That was irrelevant to the process. The question was simply, how many of these people can we get rid of? We may, as a culture, love our children individually, but we're having an awfully hard time showing it collectively when our national policy has made it clear that we believe it is more important for bankers to make bonus and hedge fund managers to pay the lowest tax rate in history than it is for our children to receive proper and effective educations. If we really thought that children are our most important resource, then teachers and librarians would be paid like ball players, and ball players would be paid like teachers. But they're not, because we don't think that. So why is this? Well, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I would posit that the currency in this culture is power. Who has power? Adult men. Who doesn't have power? Kids. Who are the pivot people in the equation? Women. Look around the room. I don't need to expand on this idea, do I? Why is that? Why is it that those of us who work with children, for those who work with children, the ratio is always overwhelmingly female to male? It's because to work with children, to work with the disempowered, is to give up power, and that is not acceptable in this culture. If you have been, unlikely, given the demographic in the room, or if you have observed a man teaching second grade, you will know that he receives a message, subtle but insistent, that he should do the right thing and become a principal. Take a place of power. It is perfectly all right for women to spend their entire professional career working with kids, but we secretly think there's something wrong with a man who wants to do the same thing. Because to do that is to give up power. Look at it in the simple matter of our clothing. Our vestments, which are invested with power. Any one of the women in this room could come up here, dressed pretty much as I am, it would be all right. I could not come up here in a skirt. Now, we talk about gender equality, but we haven't gotten there. Because putting on a skirt means I am giving up power. I'm removing the vestments of power. To put on pants means you're gaining power. That's the way our culture still works for all we talk about gender equality. Look at adult literature. If you are a woman writing hard-boiled detective fiction, you will use a male pseudonym. If you're a man writing romance, you will use a female pseudonym. Because even in our adult world, we don't think that men and women can cross over that way. But that affects the way that we can work with kids. So here we are. Not mighty in numbers or great in strength, yet collectively one of the last lines